I greet you all my viewers in Jesus' name. Today, I want to share my testimony about an encounter with Jesus. When I was in Form 2, He transformed me. And this is a testimony that is worth being listened to, everyone, so that you know the God that I believe is true. Now, I want you to know that the school that I went to, I was the only girl living with disability in the whole school. I remember there was one incident, and I will never forget. When it was time for chemistry lesson, of course, we had to go to the lab. That first experience, when we were going for the chemistry lessons, practical, the girls literally ran out of classroom. And they ran until they reached the classroom. And I was left behind. I walked slowly. I was so embarrassed over myself. I was so ashamed of myself. I cried all the way. About to reach the classroom, I started wiping my tears so that nobody would notice. I want to thank God for Mrs. Waiguru, my class teacher then. She noticed that I was crying. But of course, she noticed that there was one student that was missing. And she had actually noticed that I was, of course, physically challenged. So what she did, she didn't start her lessons. She waited for me. So I entered my classroom with red eyes. My class teacher noticed something and started telling the girls that they should always wait for me and we walk together at my pace. So, and she told the girls never to leave me behind. And that's exactly how I managed to learn, knowing that I have been understood. So I'm forever grateful for that chemistry teacher that helped me. So I had other issues that really bothered me. As girls used to be visited by their parents. And sometimes they'll bring them a lot of goodies. They'll bring them food stuff, all sorts of food stuff, fruits. They'll be brought money. And of course, me, I was never visited. The other issue again that really caused a lot of problems in my life is the kind of visiting that the rest of the girls used to have. They used to be visited by brothers in quotes. Of course, there were brothers, real brothers also, to some of the girls. But most of the girls used to be visited by boyfriends. And that really hurt me a lot. Because I would look at them and they looked so good. They seemed to be enjoying life. They could pose for photographs. Others, they seemed to really, wamefika maisha, wamepata maisha. Now imagine, I'm also a girl. And these things were not, they were not, I could not enjoy. I didn't have anybody who showed me such kind of love or such kind of visitation. I didn't have anybody. So, that is where the devil took an opportunity to preach to me. He really preached to me. And the devil looks for such opportunities where you are so desperate about issues. So it reached a point where whenever there was visitation, like for example on a Saturday, I would look for a place to hide because I didn't want to see those people. It was so painful for me. And I could cry. But again, my friends would come look for me, but they didn't know that they were hurting me. They would come and show them, ask their friends to greet me. And they would say, this is my friend, this is my... and that really hurt me. They didn't know that they were hurting me. So, so that the devil took up that position. Shetani akachukua nafasi hiyo and started preaching to me. These are the kind of preachings that the devil was telling me. Ya kwamba that God does not love you. If he loved you, why did he allow sickness to destroy you? And I would also say, yes, it is true. God does not love me. And I will go back to God and I'll tell God, you don't love me. So I'll quarrel with him. I'll quarrel with God and say, you don't love me. So I even said, nobody will even see me. The devil will tell me, you'll never be loved by anybody. So I was worried now about my future. And that I was under a lot of stress, young as I was. I began losing my studies. I could not get anything in class. I went down. Imagine, I was a very bright student. I lost hope completely. I didn't see any future in my life. Everything was dark. Everything was I didn't see any light at all. So I began going down now, because whenever I remember, I was position 4 in a class of 40. But then when we went to do the exam, I became number 34 out of 40. That was a real drop. And I didn't see any meaning of living on this earth. I want to tell you, my listeners, the devil is real. To the young people, the devil is real. And his plans are just to destroy you, to kill, and even to steal your mind, to steal the positive things that you have. It is in John 10:10 that talks about the devil has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So Jesus says after that, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. That is John 10:10. So I didn't know about that other part, but I didn't know again that I was stolen. I didn't know that the devil was planning to kill me and to destroy me, eternal destruction. So that really bothered me. Again, my self-esteem was completely out. So again, I would also go back and look at how I was treated when I was young. And the devil will just tell me, unaona, from the days you are ulikuwa mdogo, you are rejected, you are bullied, you are done all these things. Kwa sababu whatever happened those years did not disappear from my brain. It was still there. And I said, it is true. It is true. And I believed. And now, I was now sounding like, I was now imagining things like, is there a need to live on this earth? I didn't see anymore the reason for living. Sikuona maana ya kuishi tena. And if I had known how to finish myself, that was the time I was going to kill myself. If there was an opportunity, if there was a way of doing it, if I had known. Sikujua how to, but I had the greatest desire in my heart is that to disappear on this earth. So, in this school, there was a Christian union, a CU. And I would always go there, just go there, because that was the only place that I could feel a bit comfortable. Though I wasn't born again, so I didn't know anything about God. But I would just go there because of singing. I loved singing. I loved music. So I would just go there and sit and listen. I remember girls will ask me, Flora, are you born again? I'll tell them, yes, I am. Just to avoid those stories about giving testimonies, because they will give testimonies in during the meetings, and they will ask me sometime, Flora, can you come and give us a testimony? You've said you are born again. And I will tell them. I'll try to see how I can naweza kupeana ushuhuda. So I would listen to some of them that are giving their testimonies. I'll try to copy and see what they say. So the moment they will ask me, Flora, come and give us your testimony because you've told us you are born again, I'll just go there in front and I'll get embarrassed because I'll try to copy what others are saying and I'll fail miserably. And I'll leave that place so embarrassed that people know that I really am not really born again. And it really tormented me. It went on and on and on. That was my every Sunday I would just go hide in the church just to feel comfortable, just to be there. But it looks like it was God who was causing these things to happen in my life. So my life was that of a very miserable being. I lived a miserable life. I lived a lonely life. I quarreled with God day and night. They will preach the gospel. But I'll say this is not my gospel. Because God is so unfair to me. I quarreled him. The Bible in Psalms 53 verses 1 says, a fool says in his heart there is no God. I was a fool. I didn't know that God had solutions for the many questions that I had in my life. I didn't know. I was that fool that Psalms 53 verse 1 describes. I was a great fool. Nilikuwa mjinga. How many of us are saying there is no God because of the challenges that you are going through in your life? Thank you for listening. This is end of part 1. Part 2 is coming. Thank you.